The
Earlier on, Lisa mentioned the excitement of live television. What you have to expect, the unexpected. We're about to start the part of the pageant that brings that home the strongest to me. I'm going to interview each of our semifinalists, which gives our audience here and at home a better chance to know them. During those interviews, our panel will be judging them, of course. On Falcon Crest, I gotta put this in. On Falcon Crest, when I ask a question, I know the answer because it's in the script. Right here, anything and everything can happen. So after each interview, the home audience will see the average score given to the contestant. Let's begin our interviews with Miss Wyoming. Miss Wyoming is Emily Ernst. She's 17 years old. She's a senior, and you're going to attend the University of Wyoming.
Possibly, yes. I haven't decided that for sure. I'd like to apply at several colleges.
Do you think you'd know what you're going to major in if you...
Yes, I'd like to major in something that would allow me to be a guidance counselor or a high school social studies teacher.
A guidance counselor for children?
No, at the high school level.
High school level?
Yes.
That's terrific. It says here that your father... I'm a father. That's what it says right here. It says I'm a father.
You're right.
I read it right.
You're right.
I'm interested and concerned about children. What advice would you give me to help my child grow to be a fully rounded and intelligent, young, smart, sporty human being?
Your child is who you make him. You have the opportunity to mold your child to be whatever he wants, and if you give him love, and if you always treat him with respect, he will treat you with respect and love you, and in that chance, he will love the rest of the world as well.
Thank you, Emily. That was beautiful. Emily Ernst, Miss Wyoming. Jill Hutchinson, ladies and gentlemen, from North Carolina. She's 18. She's a freshman. North Dakota, excuse me, I'm sorry. You're a freshman at North Dakota State. You were planning on studying psychology, but you changed your mind.
Yes, I did.
How come?
I was going to go into child psychology, and then after I attended a few psychology classes, and after falling asleep a few times, I decided that I would like to be a writer and to go into writing.
I understand that you want to write children's books and illustrate children's books?
Yes, like Dr. Seuss, only it'd be me.
Would you ever consider being an artist? I mean, aside from the writing?
No, I really like writing a lot better. Sometimes drawing is hard for me because somebody tells me to draw and I can't. So if I can create my own, then it works.
Right. It's easy to work without pressure, isn't it?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Miss North Dakota, Jill Hutchinson. Thank you, Jill. We'll see Jill's number on the screen at home. Miss Illinois, Lisa Jessen. Lisa is a freshman at Spoon River Community College. You got your graduation gift 3 years early. Would you like to tell everybody what that was?
Yes, I would. When I was a freshman, at the end of my freshman year, my parents, when I was living in St. Louis, my parents enrolled me in a modeling school because they knew I'd always wanted to be a model. They were super. They did this knowing that we're moving to Macomb, Illinois a week later. Macomb is 4 hours away from St. Louis.
So that meant time in the car. But what was the problem? What was the situation that caused a little bit of heartache?
Well, it was far away. But the biggest obstacle was that there were 3 bridges on the way to St. Louis. My mom is absolutely terrified of heights. And every time she got over the bridge, she would just literally freeze at the wheel. So I ended up having to coax her over the bridge.
How did you do that?
I reminded her of the little engine that could. I kept saying, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can, until she was over the bridge.
That's a great story. Thank you, Lisa. Miss Illinois. Let's see what Lisa's score is on the television screen. Shall we talk to Miss Arkansas? Her name is Rhonda Hurd. She's a senior in high school. Do you plan on furthering your education? And if you do, what would you go into?
I'd like to attend the University of Arkansas at Fayetteville and major in business management, move to Dallas, and open a boutique.
A boutique? Mm-hmm. For women's clothes, women's and men's clothes, what would you do?
Women's.
Women's clothes? Okay, say a lady comes in the store, okay, and she tries on a dress, and it doesn't really look too terrific on her, but you know that she likes it. How would you get her out of buying that dress and perhaps buying something that looks a little better on her?
I would suggest that I had something that would look better to suit her figure, make her appear better to everybody else.
Maybe give her a couple of more choices to look at. Thank you very much. Thank you. Rhonda Hurd, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see Rhonda's score. Let's talk to Miss Georgia, Meredith Brown. Meredith is a high school sophomore. You have a fan club out there, huh?
Yes, I do. It's my whole family is here visiting to see me do well.
Where do you live in Georgia?
I live in Atlanta, about 20 minutes from the city.
I understand that you are the lady of the house. In other words, you do most of the housework and the cooking, and do you have a special kind of dish that you cook? What kind of food?
I enjoy Chinese food. We eat Chinese food about 3 times a week, and I like to make chicken chow mein, and I just really...
Have you ever had a flop in the kitchen, like something that just went bananas and there's no way to save it?
Yes, I have a younger brother who's 6, and I always make his birthday cakes. Well, on his 6th day, I was making his birthday cake, and the cake didn't rise. So I had to run to the store and get a Betty Crocker cake mix, but he didn't know the difference. It was good.
Let me ask you something, okay, Meredith, and don't think that I'm being, weird or anything, but did you remember to turn on the oven?
Yes, I did. I used the wrong flour.
That'll do it. Wrong flour, flat cakes, every time. Thank you, Meredith. Miss Georgia.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we've talked with our first 5 semifinalists for the title of Miss Teen USA 1985. We will talk with the other 5 in a minute, but first, Lisa has a very special message.
I'm here with Cherise Haugen. Cherise is the present Miss Teen USA, and we were just chatting about the interview competition that's going on behind us. Cherise, do you think the girls would rather be interviewed in the early part or the latter part of the segment?
Really, I think that depends on the girls. Some of the girls want to get over with as quickly as possible. Well, some of them want to see how the rest of the answers went. But right now, I think that every one of them are just super excited about being chosen as semifinalists.
I can imagine. I bet they're surprised, too, huh?
Yes, I think so. Although there may be 1 or 2 who always felt they'd be a semifinalist.
Were you surprised?
Yes, I was. I tell you, I had a lot of confidence in my performance, but I also felt that all of the other girls did well, too. I guess I thought I had a chance to make the top 10.
I think you had more than a chance. It was your night. And for one of those young ladies, tonight will be her night. Lorenzo will interview the 5 semifinalists when we come back after this word from Spick and Span Liquid.
Time now for our interview competition to move on to our remaining semifinalists, and we'll begin with Miss Texas, Kone Wheely. Hello, Kone.
Hello.
Kone is 16 years old. She lives in Humboldt, Texas, and you're junior in high school.
Yes, I am.
Have you thought about further education?
Yes, I've thought about...
Notice how she takes the mic. What would that be?
I thought about being a news reporter, an anchor woman like Diane Sawyer.
Oh, really? Is that true?
Yeah.
Okay, well, why don't you interview me?
Okay.
Would it be putting you on the spot?
No, not at all.
Okay, good.
Live from the James L. Knight Auditorium, we have Mr. Lorenzo Lamas, the heartthrob. Yes, Mr. Lorenzo. I see that you have a wife and a child. How did you come to meet your wife?
My wife, Michelle, was a publicist in New York, and
When was this again?
in New York City.
Where?
Big Apple, on 5th Avenue.
When?
In 1980, she's going to kill me. 1982.
Are you sure?
Yes, now I am. And I worked with her, and we got along just tremendously, marvelously.
And your son?
My son is doing fine. He's 13 months old, AJ, Alvaro Joshua. And
if you don't mind me asking, how did you become an actor?
By accident, actually. I was standing in for Robert Wagner on a show called Switch, and one day an actor came in for a bit part, and he was too short, and it didn't work, and they gave me the line, and I got my actor's card through Joe, Penny, wherever you are, thank you. And from that moment on, it was guest parts, and then, you know, thanks.
Well, thank you very much. This is Kone Wheelie signing off.
Thank you very much, Kone Wheelie. Miss Texas. Boy. Let's talk to Miss Hawaii, Kelly Hu. Kelly is a junior in high school. She lives in Honolulu. Something very interesting. I understand that you have a family reunion once in a while. How often is that, and how many people come to this reunion?
Well, every year we have a family reunion held on either the island of Maui or Oahu, and about 200 relatives attend.
200 relatives. 200. Do you have to do the place cards, or you leave that to somebody else?
Well, we just sort of let them mingle and sit on their own.
There's something else interesting I think we should share with everybody. Your great-grandfather was the chief?
Chief of Honolulu. Well, he wasn't my great-grandfather. He was more like my great-great-great-grandfather. He was the chief of Honolulu. That's right.
What's the difference? What's the difference between now and then, as far as chiefs versus mayors?
Well, back then we weren't part of the United States. There's a big difference.
Yeah, big difference. But the waves keep breaking anyway. Thank you, Kelly. Miss Hawaii. Thank you, Kelly. We'll see Kelly's score right on the TV screen there. Now, let's talk with Miss Missouri. Her name is Rhonda Hoagland. She's a high school senior. Hello, Rhonda. What do you plan on doing with yourself after high school?
Well, I've already been accepted to the University of Missouri Honors College, and I plan on majoring in pre-med once I get there.
You must be a very good student then.
Well, yes, I make good grades.
I have to add something in here. She placed 3rd out of 360 people in your class?
No,
That was my wife, Michelle. Excuse me. Let me cheat here. You're going to major in music?
No, I'm majoring in medicine.
But you do study music, or you have studied?
Yes, I've studied piano for 8 years.
Have you given concerts in different areas in the country?
Yes, mostly just in Kansas City. I've played at the University of Missouri in Kansas City several times at the conservatory there.
Well, good luck in med school.
Okay, well, thank you.
Thank you. Rhonda, Miss Missouri. See Rhonda's score. Let's talk to Miss Washington. Her name is Drew Homer. She's a senior at Sela High School. Oh, you have a very special interest and a unique talent, I may add. You perform acting plays for a particular group of people. Who would they be?
I perform for children, kindergarten, and first, second, and third grade, and handicapped children.
What is the difference between performing for children and performing for adults?
Children really believe the character that you are playing. They don't just think, oh, that's Drew Homer up there playing the Queen of Hearts, because I played the Queen of Hearts. They really believe that I am the Queen of Hearts, and they get scared, and they love you. They just really like you a lot.
But do they really get scared, or is it scared that they're just into what they're seeing, and then they go home and it's fine?
Yeah, they're scared while you're up there, but then afterwards they come up and they want you to talk to them. They're not scared the whole time.
I don't think I would be scared. Thank you, Drew. Thank you very much. Miss Washington. Let's see Drew's score. Let's talk with Miss North Carolina, Kimberly. Kimberly Jordan is 16. She's a sophomore, high school.
Hi.
You are a fantastic dancer.
Thank you.
How long have you been dancing?
About 13 years now.
Has it been helpful to you as far as traveling, and have you seen different places of the country because you're dancing? Any performances?
Yes, I've been to Washington, D.C. twice to dance in a convention for the National Hair Association, and I've also been to Dallas.
Do the girls appreciate your talent?
Yeah, I think it gives me an advantage because I know the steps, I just don't know the arrangement, when a lot of the other girls have to learn the steps and the arrangement.
So you plan on taking this talent to the heights, huh? Maybe Broadway one day?
Definitely, I'd like that.
I think you should do it too. Thank you, Kimberly. Miss North Carolina. The first of our 3 semifinalist competitions is over, and we have moved closer to finding out who will be our new Miss Teen USA.